Okay, today, boys and girls, we are doing our clay nutcracker. And last time we were here, we made paper ones, so they're going to be very similar to our paper ones, and that's where we should get our inspiration. The first thing we need to do is kind of realize, if you look at this one, the proportions of our nutcracker. So if you want to, you can very lightly, that is where my hat is going to be. This is my head. That is where my belt's going to be. And you can very lightly draw the line. Don't go all the way through because we don't want to crack them. The line goes all the way through from the top to the bottom to see our two legs. And then I can also very lightly draw where our hands are going to be. And that's just to give us a general idea of where each of the different parts are going to be. The first thing I want to do is we're going to use some of these different rubber plates, and I'm going to press them on the bottom where my legs are, so I have a pattern for my boots. And then you can switch and do another pattern for our hat. It just adds a little bit of texture in there, which is awesome. And you can kind of swap with some of the people at different tables. Some of the pieces that we have, or that you'll notice that are on your table that I've already cut, are going to be different pieces that we can add on. So if you remember when we did our hats, I'm going to put a little decorative piece there. And again, with everything that you add, you've got to slip and score. So I'm going to slip and score a little decorative piece on for my hat. Then this is perfect. I'm just going to cut this in half, score here. We talked about doing shoulder pads. And our slip is just clay and water. So I'm going to add shoulder pads to each side. And again, remembering back what we did on our other project, I'm going to go ahead, I want to make it look like a soldier uniform. So I've got the long piece right here, and you can use your needle tool. I cut that a little bit skinnier. And I'm going to add the little pieces to make my uniform. Just like that. And then I can use these smaller pieces, because that was one of the things that I kept asking you guys to do. Add detail when we were decorating our nutcrackers out of paper. So I definitely want to add the detail there. You can get some extra clay, roll the little buttons like I did over here. And again, a little bit of scratch to get those buttons to stick, especially anything that's round. So I'm going to just stick that little button on there and squish it down a little bit. So that's an easy way to make your buttons. One thing you can do to get all of your buttons the same size is you can roll a little piece, like I'm going to roll a snake. And then once I roll the snake, I'm going to cut all my pieces to be the same size, so that when I make my button and I stick it on there, they're all going to be close to the same size. We are going to paint these when we're done. So some of the details you can paint on there next week when we are done. Or, like I said, I've cut a lot of pieces for you. So if you wanted to put stripes on his pants, I can very easily do that. Now, if you notice, kind of like for our boots, I am going to draw the top of my boot line. So those are a few things you can draw. So if I did put my stripe on my pants, it wouldn't go all the way down. It would just go to where it tucks into my boot. And add that down there. To make a mustache, I'm going to give you guys lots of extra clay. To get a mustache, we're going to roll. And remember, when you're working with clay, you need to work on your cloth. If you roll it on the table, that's okay, but you can't squish anything to the table because it will stick. So once I've rolled out a little snake, I'm going to, if you notice, I just put a little bit of slip on it. If you get too much slip on your hands, it gets too gooey. So once I have this, and it is kind of hard to make your mustache. Notice, I took the ends and I'm lightly curling those ends in, and now I have a mustache. Alrighty, so once you've gotten your designs done, and again, you might want to make a belt buckle or a belt. To make a belt buckle, you could just take one of those pieces, those long strips that I had, and use your needle tool, and you can just cut a belt buckle. Again, I want to score it and slip it to get it to stick on. Definitely might want to add a few shoulder pads. Gage kind of came late to the game, so I'm using his as an example. To do the face, I gave you all a little bit of clay. To do the face, you want to pinch off a little piece, and I'm going to roll it into a ball. You can use your finger to just roll it into a ball. I'm going to scratch it. I'm just going to go ahead and scratch all of my places. Add a little bit of slip so my eyeball goes right underneath the crown. Rolling a ball. If your clay gets dry, you can add just a little bit of water to it. Your nose is like rolling a little snake. So look, I'm going to roll it into a ball, and then I'm going to roll it into, I don't even know, looks kind of like a bowling pin, the skinny egg. And the skinny part goes up here by my nose. Now, if you want to make a mustache, I've made some, but I want you to try it. To make a mustache, I'm going to roll a snake. And again, the more you handle the clay, the more it dries out. After I've made that shape, I'm going to add a little bit of water on it. And then I'm going to curve my ends up. Oh, this is going to be a long mustache. And then it goes under the nose. Scratch and score it. The last thing, I'm going to come around. This is what I need everybody to do. Underneath their mustache, if you want a beard, you need to scratch it and put some slip on there for me. And then I'm going to come around and I'm going to give you an awesome beard. And the beards are just so fun. I got to clean my garlic press out really fast. So do a quick check. Do you have designs on your chest? Have you put designs on your boots? Have you made a light line so we know where your hands are? Did you put designs on your sleeves? You need to do all that. Then when you're done with all that and you can work on your face, I'm going to come by with my garlic press, and there are holes right there. And when I press the garlic press, I get this awesome clump of mustache hair that I'm going to put right there. And you've got your awesome mustache, or mustache and your beard. I'm going to come around with your beard when you are ready for it.